Lisa Thompson hated the squeaky wheel on her book cart. In the quiet of the ancient archive section, that tiny sound seemed as loud as a spaceship taking off. The old-fashioned cart was part of her job as the night librarian at the Terran Space Academy's biggest library. It was 2457, and while most libraries had gone fully digital, this place still kept real books. The massive library stood silent at 2 a.m. Earth Standard Time. Rows of books stretched up toward the ceiling, disappearing into shadows that the soft lighting couldn't reach. Lisa pushed her cart between shelves labeled Pre-First Contact History. The squeaky wheel echoed through the empty halls. She stopped to put back a worn copy of War and Peace when something caught her eye. A soft blue light moved between the shelves ahead. Lisa frowned. No one else should be here this late. "Hello," she called out softly. The library's closed. The light didn't disappear. Instead, it grew brighter. Lisa walked toward it, leaving her cart behind. As she got closer, the light took shape. It looked like a person, but see-through, made of glowing blue mist. Lisa's first thought was to run, but something stopped her. The figure didn't seem scary. It felt familiar, like meeting an old friend she'd forgotten about. The glowing shape turned to face her. It had the form of an old woman wearing ancient robes. Books floated around it, their pages flipping gently in a wind Lisa couldn't feel. "You can see me," the spirit said. Its voice sounded like rustling pages. "How interesting. It's been 50 years since anyone could." Lisa's hand shook, but she stood her ground. "What are you?" "I am Alexandria," the spirit said. "I guard the memory of the greatest library humanity ever lost. Now I protect this place, and all the knowledge within it." Lisa's mind raced. The Library of Alexandria, the ancient library that burned down thousands of years ago. She'd studied about it in school. "There are more like you?" Lisa asked. Alexandria smiled. The blue light brightened. "Many more. Every great library has its guardians. We are the spirits of knowledge, keeping safe humanity's memories, stories, and wisdom." A book floated off a nearby shelf and opened in front of Lisa. Its pages turned by themselves, showing pictures of other libraries throughout history. "But why can I see you?" Lisa asked. "Why now?" "Because humanity needs us again," Alexandria said. "Changes are coming. The digital age threatens to break the old bonds between people and knowledge. And there are others, not from Earth, who want to understand why human libraries are different from any others in the galaxy." Lisa heard her cart's squeaky wheel behind her. She turned to look, but nothing was there. When she turned back, Alexandria was gone too. Only a single glowing blue bookmark remained, floating where the spirit had been. Lisa reached out and took it. It felt solid and warm in her hand. Words appeared on its surface in glowing letters. "Knowledge needs guardians. Welcome to the night shift, Librarian Thompson." She clutched the bookmark tight and looked up at the towering shelves around her. The library didn't seem empty anymore. In the shadows between books, she thought she saw other lights starting to glow. The night shift, it seemed, was about to get a lot more interesting. 2 weeks after meeting Alexandria, Lisa sat in the library's break room, staring at the glowing bookmark. She hadn't told anyone about what she saw that night. Who would believe her? The door chimed. Lisa quickly put the bookmark in her pocket as a tall man walked in. He looked mostly human, except for the slight purple tint to his skin and the silver marks around his eyes that showed his Centaurian heritage. "Librarian Thompson?" he asked. "I'm Marcus Reed, from the Galactic Cultural Exchange Office." Lisa stood up. "How can I help you?" "I'm here about some unusual energy readings from your ancient archive section," Marcus said. He held up a small device that blinked with different colored lights. "We've detected patterns that don't match any known technology." Lisa's heart beat faster. Could his machine detect the spirits? "Everything here is old books and basic lighting," she said carefully. Marcus smiled. "May I see the archives? Specifically the area where you work nights?" They walked together through the quiet library. Lisa noticed how Marcus kept looking at his device, frowning at its readings. As they turned down the pre-first contact history aisle, she saw a familiar blue glow ahead. Marcus stopped walking. The readings are strongest here, but he shook his device. I don't see anything unusual. Alexandria floated at the end of the aisle, looking at them both. More spirits had appeared behind her, each one glowing with different colors. They moved between the shelves, carrying books and organizing information only they could see. You really can't see them? Lisa asked. See what? The spirits. They're right there. About 7 of them now. Marcus stared at her, then checked his device again. Spirits, like ghosts. Knowledge spirits, Lisa explained. They protect the books and information. That one in front is Alexandria. Marcus's eyes widened. This is remarkable. In all our studies of Earth's libraries, we've never understood why they feel different from libraries on other worlds. Every species has books and data storage, but Earth's libraries have always had an unexplained energy about them. As if responding to his words, Alexandria moved closer. Books began floating off the shelves around them. Marcus jumped back in surprise. I can't see any spirits, he said, but I can see that. He watched in amazement as books opened in midair, their pages turning by themselves. The spirits have always been here, Alexandria said, though Lisa knew only she could hear the spirit's voice. Tell him that humanity's connection to knowledge is special. Other species collect information. Humans build relationships with it. Lisa repeated Alexandria's words to Marcus. He typed quickly on his datapad. This changes everything, he said. The Galactic Council has always wondered why Earth became such an important center of learning after first contact. Now we know. He looked at Lisa. Would you be willing to help us study this phenomenon? Before Lisa could answer, alarms started blaring throughout the library. Red emergency lights flashed on. Warning, said the library's computer. Multiple unauthorized access attempts detected. Security protocols engage. Marcus's datapad beeped urgently. Someone's trying to hack into the library's systems, he said. They must have detected our discovery. Around them, the spirits began to glow brighter, moving into defensive positions between the shelves. Alexandria's voice echoed in Lisa's mind. And so it begins. After the hacking attempt, Lisa found herself in a hidden room deep within the library. She hadn't known this place existed until Alexandria led her here. The circular chamber was lined with books from floor to ceiling, their spines glowing with soft light. James Walker, the library's oldest employee, stood beside her. His white hair seemed to glow in the spirit's light. I've worked here for 40 years, he said, and I've only been in this room twice. Around them, spirits gathered. They came in different colors and shapes. Some looked like scholars from different time periods, others like pure light in the shape of books. Alexandria floated at the center. The Council of Pages meets rarely, Alexandria said, but the attempt to breach our defenses cannot be ignored. Lisa watched in wonder as more spirits appeared. Why did you choose to show yourselves to me? A spirit that looked like an old monk stepped forward. His form flickered like candlelight. Humans are unique in all the galaxy, he said. Your species doesn't just store knowledge, you love it. You tell stories. You feel deeply about books and learning. That emotion gives us form. It's why other species can't see us. Added another spirit, this one shaped like a librarian from the 1800s. They treat knowledge like a tool. Humans treat it like a friend. James nodded. I've seen them all my life, he said to Lisa. My grandmother taught me about them. There used to be more of us who could see them, but people stopped believing. The spirits moved closer, forming a circle around Lisa and James. Alexandria spoke again. The aliens who tried to hack our systems want to understand why Earth's libraries are special. Some wish to learn. Others wish to take. What can we do? Lisa asked. James pulled an old book from his jacket. Its cover was worn leather with no title. "We teach you," he said, "the old ways of keeping knowledge safe. The spirits chose you as a new guardian, just as they chose me years ago." The book opened by itself. Lysa saw pages filled with handwritten notes about the spirits, how they moved, how they protected information, how they could be helped in their work. "Other species are coming," Alexandria warned. "They sense our presence, even if they cannot see us. Earth's libraries will soon be the center of much attention." A younger-looking spirit floated forward. Unlike the others, this one wore modern clothes. "The digital libraries are changing things too," it said. "New spirits are being born from computers and data networks. We must learn to work with them." "I'll help," Lysa said, "but I need to understand everything." James put a hand on her shoulder. "That's why I'm here, to teach you what my grandmother taught me. The spirits aren't just guardians. They're the living memory of how humans connect with knowledge." The spirits began to glow brighter, their light filling the hidden room. In that moment, Lysa understood that her job as a librarian had become something much bigger than she'd ever imagined. The emergency meeting room at the Terran Space Academy was filled with worried faces. On the main screen, red warning messages flashed as another digital library went offline. "That's the 5th one this week," said Robert Foster, the Academy's lead tech specialist. He ran his hands through his messy brown hair, staring at the screen. "The entire digital network is failing, and we can't figure out why." Lysa sat quietly, watching the spirits that floated around the room. None of the other people there could see them, but she noticed how the spirits looked angry. They moved like storm clouds between the chairs. "The computers are working fine," Robert continued, "but the data keeps getting scrambled. It's like—" He paused, looking for words. "It's like the information itself is refusing to stay put." Lysa knew better. She could see the spirits touching the computer screens, their light causing the data to jump and shift. Alexandria appeared beside her, glowing a deep blue. "Tell them," Alexandria said. "The time for secrets has passed." Lysa stood up. "I know what's happening." Everyone turned to look at her. The knowledge spirits are fighting back against total digitization. They're protecting the old ways of keeping books and information. Robert laughed, but it was a nervous sound. "Knowledge spirits, like ghosts." "Look at your screens," Lysa said. As if on cue, the spirits moved to the displays. Words began appearing and disappearing. Books that had been digitized started showing up with missing pages. The computer systems flickered. "This is impossible," Robert whispered. He checked his instruments. "The data is being changed by something we can't detect." James Walker spoke up from his corner. "The spirits have always been here, protecting human knowledge. But they're worried. Digital storage doesn't have the same soul as physical books. They fear humanity will lose its special connection to learning." A new spirit appeared, different from the others. It looked like it was made of computer code, glowing green and blue. It moved through the screens, trying to talk to the older spirits. "What's that?" Lysa asked Alexandria. "A new kind of spirit," Alexandria answered, "born from digital knowledge. It's trying to bridge the gap between old and new. But the older spirits don't trust it yet." Robert had been typing frantically on his computer. "Whatever's happening, it's spreading. The entire Earth library network will crash within days if we don't stop it." Lysa watched the spirits arguing with each other. The old ones wanted to protect their books. The new digital spirit wanted to protect its data. Neither side was listening to the other. "We need both," Lysa said suddenly. "Digital and physical, new and old." She turned to Robert. "Can you help me build a system that keeps both?" Robert looked unsure. "A hybrid system. It's possible, but it would take time." "Time we don't have," James added, pointing to the warning screens. The digital spirit moved to hover near Lysa. Its code-like form shifted into something more human-shaped. Alexandria floated to its other side. "They're willing to try," Lysa said, "but we need to work fast. The spirits aren't destroying the digital libraries. They're trying to save them in their own way. We just need to help them do it right. Robert nodded slowly. Tell me what you need. Outside the meeting room windows, Lisa could see more spirits gathering. Old ones made of paper and ink, new ones made of data and light. The future of human knowledge would depend on finding a way to bring them together. While Robert worked on the hybrid library system, Lisa found herself following Alexandria through a dusty corridor she'd never noticed before. Linda Parker, the Academy's archaeologist, walked beside her, holding an old-fashioned flashlight. I've studied ancient libraries for 20 years, Linda said, brushing cobwebs aside. But I've never been in this section. It's not even on the building plans. The corridor ended at a heavy wooden door. Carved symbols covered its surface, glowing faintly blue in the spirit's light. Alexandria passed through the door like mist, but Lisa and Linda had to push it open. It creaked loudly. "Oh my God," Linda whispered. The room beyond was huge. Rows of stone shelves held clay tablets and scrolls. Glass cases protected books that looked thousands of years old. Brass reading lamps stood unlit, covered in decades of dust. "Welcome to the first library," Alexandria said. Other spirits appeared, each one older looking than the last. "This is where humans first learned to work with us." Lisa translated for Linda, who was already taking pictures with her datapad. "These artifacts," Linda said, "they're from every ancient library tradition. Egyptian, Greek, Chinese, Persian." She stopped at a stone tablet. "This can't be real. This is from the original library of Alexandria." The spirits gathered around an altar-like table in the center of the room. On it lay a book bigger than any Lisa had seen before. Its cover was made of dark wood and metal, with gems set into the corners. "The First Librarian's Guide," Alexandria said. "It contains the original rituals used to work with spirits, to truly see us, to help us protect knowledge." Lisa reached for the book, but another voice stopped her. "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Dr. Thomas Green stepped out of the shadows. His white lab coat seemed out of place among the ancient books. 2 security guards stood behind him. "Dr. Green," Linda asked, "what are you doing here?" "Following you," he said with a cold smile. "Thanks for leading us to this place. We've been looking for it for years." He pointed at the book. "The source of Earth's library power. The reason our world became so important after first contact." The spirits grew brighter, angry. Books began to shake on their shelves. "You don't understand," Lisa said. "The spirits can't be controlled. They work with us because we love knowledge, not because of power." "Love," Dr. Green laughed. "Think bigger, Miss Thompson. With these rituals, we could control all information in the galaxy. Every secret, every piece of data." He stepped toward the altar. "The aliens think they're so advanced. Wait until they see what we can do with their libraries." Alexandria's voice rang out. "Now you see why only some humans can work with us. This one's heart is wrong. He seeks power, not wisdom." The security guards moved forward, but the spirits were faster. Books flew from their shelves, spinning around the room. The brass lamps lit up with spirit fire. Dr. Green stumbled back as scrolls and tablets rose into the air. "Stop them," he shouted, but his guards were already running. Linda grabbed the First Librarian's Guide, while Lisa pushed Dr. Green away from the altar. The spirits formed a wall of light between them and him. "This isn't over," Dr. Green warned as he backed away. "That book belongs to humanity, not to your ghosts." After he fled, Lisa turned to the spirits. "He'll be back with more people." "Then we must work quickly," Alexandria said. "The book holds secrets you'll need. Humanity must learn the true way of working with spirits before people like him destroy everything we've protected for thousands of years." 3 days after finding the first library, alarms rang through the entire academy. Lisa ran to the main library hall, where chaos had broken out. Dr. Green had returned with a team of scientists and security forces. "Shut down all exits," Dr. Green ordered. He held a strange machine that glowed with an ugly red light. "No spirit leaves this building." Marcus Reed burst through the front doors. "Stop," he shouted. "The Galactic Council forbids this action." "The Council has no power here," Dr. Green smiled. "This is a human matter." Lisa watched in horror as his team set up more machines around the library. The devices hummed with energy that made her teeth hurt. Around her, the spirits became visible to everyone. The machines were forcing them to appear. "What have you done?" Lisa asked. "Spirits are just energy," Dr. Green said. "Energy can be captured." He pointed to containers that looked like glass boxes. "We'll study them, learn their secrets, and then use them to access any information in the galaxy." Alexandria appeared in the center of the room, bigger and brighter than Lisa had ever seen her. Other spirits joined her, forming a wall of light. "You cannot cage knowledge," Alexandria's voice boomed. Now everyone could hear her. "We are not your tools." Robert ran in with his computer tablet. "The digital library systems are going crazy," he said to Lisa. "The spirits are fighting back everywhere." All around the world, libraries were lighting up. Knowledge spirits that had hidden for centuries were showing themselves. Dr. Green's machines had awakened them all. Marcus spoke into his communication device. "The Galactic Council needs to see this." He turned to the others. "Ships from 20 alien worlds are approaching Earth. Some want to help us. Others," he paused, "others want to make sure human libraries can't threaten them." Dr. Green laughed. "Let them come. With these spirits under our control, we can defend Earth and take whatever knowledge we want." The machines sparked with red energy. Spirits screamed as the devices tried to pull them in. Books flew from shelves as the spirits fought back. Linda clutched the first librarian's guide to her chest, backing away from the chaos. James Walker stepped forward, his voice strong despite his age. "You're breaking a trust that's lasted thousands of years," he said to Dr. Green. "These spirits chose to work with humans because we love knowledge for its own sake." Lisa felt the bookmark Alexandria had given her grow warm in her pocket. She pulled it out. It was glowing brighter than ever. Other librarians around the world were reporting the same thing. Old bookmarks, cards, and reading glasses passed down through generations were lighting up. "They weren't tools," Lisa said, understanding finally. "They were gifts. The spirits gave us ways to connect with them, but only if we proved worthy." Alexandria's light filled the room. The spirits swirled together, forming shapes of every library that had ever existed on Earth. The machines sparked and broke under the spirits' power. "No," Dr. Green shouted as his devices failed. "Contain them." But it was too late. The spirits had grown too strong. They swept through the library, gathering centuries of human knowledge into a glowing storm. Through the windows, Lisa could see lights rising from libraries all over the city. Marcus's device beeped. "The alien ships are entering orbit," he said. "Whatever we're going to do, we need to do it now." Lisa held up her glowing bookmark. All through the library, others who could see the spirits did the same. "We show them," she said. "We show everyone why Earth's libraries are special. Not because we control knowledge, but because we love it," James finished. The spirits swept upward, their light reaching toward the sky where alien ships watched Earth's libraries come alive. The sky above the Terran Space Academy glowed with lights from 1,000 knowledge spirits. Lisa watched as they rose higher, reaching toward the alien ships in orbit. Every library on Earth was awakening, their spirits joining together in a display that could be seen from space. But something was wrong. Dr. Green's machines, though broken, had damaged the ancient archives. The oldest section of the library was becoming unstable. Books began to crumble, and the very walls shook. "The foundation is breaking," Robert shouted over the noise. His computer showed shocking readings. "The spirit energy is too strong for the old building." James Walker stood in the center of the archives, his white hair glowing in the spirit light. He held an ancient book in his hands, one that Lisa recognized from his personal collection. "James, we have to leave." Lisa called to him. "No," he said calmly. "Someone has to anchor them. The spirits need a focus point, a human connection they trust completely." He opened his book, and light poured from its pages. "I spent my whole life with them. It's fitting that I help them now." Alexandria appeared beside him. "He speaks truth. The spirits need guidance to merge the old ways with the new. But the price." Lisa understood what they meant. "There has to be another way." "There isn't time," James said. He looked up at the spirits swirling overhead. "My grandmother told me this day might come, when all the knowledge spirits would wake up at once. They need someone who understands both their world and ours." Marcus's communication device crackled. "The alien ships are responding to the spirit lights. They're amazed. Nothing like this has ever happened in the galaxy's history." Robert ran to his computers. "The digital library systems are stabilizing. The spirits, they're not fighting the technology anymore. They're working with it." James began to glow with the same light as the spirits. Books floated around him as he read from his ancient volume. Words and languages Lisa had never seen floated in the air. "James, please," Lisa begged, but she knew he had made his choice. "Find the balance, Lisa," he said. His voice had started to sound like the spirits. "Show them how to combine the old and new. That's why the spirits chose you." He smiled. "My grandmother would have liked you." The light grew blindingly bright. James's form became transparent, merging with the spirits around him. The ancient section of the library stabilized, its walls strengthening with new spirit energy. When the light faded, James was gone. But the spirits had changed. They moved differently now, more organized, as if they had learned a new way to exist. The digital spirits and the ancient ones no longer fought each other. Lisa felt tears on her face. Linda put a hand on her shoulder, while Marcus and Robert stared in amazement at the transformed library. Alexandria spoke, her voice gentler than before. "James Walker has become part of us now. His knowledge, his love of books, his understanding of both human and spirit ways. He gave it all to help us change." Above them, the spirit lights formed new patterns. Alien ships sent down beams of light in response, trying to communicate with this power they had never seen before. "Look," Robert said, checking his screens. "The digital libraries are working perfectly now. But differently. It's like they have spirit librarians helping them." Lisa pulled out her bookmark. It showed her words that only she could read. "The old must guide the new. The new must protect the old. This is the way forward." She looked up at the spirit lights dancing between Earth and the watching alien ships. James had given them a chance to show the galaxy why human libraries were special. Now they had to prove worthy of his sacrifice. 1 month after James Walker's sacrifice, the Terran Space Academy library looked very different. Glass walls now stood next to ancient stone. Digital screens glowed beside old wooden shelves. And everywhere, spirits moved freely between the old and new sections. Lisa sat at her new desk in the central knowledge hub. Her title had changed from Night Librarian to First Spirit Librarian, though she still preferred the night shift. Her bookmark, now framed on the wall, glowed softly in the dim light. "The Galactic Council representatives are here," Marcus said, entering her office. After the events of last month, he had become Earth's official library ambassador. 3 aliens followed him in. One was tall and silver-skinned, another had 4 arms, and the third looked like a walking crystal. They all carried devices to help them detect the spirits they couldn't see naturally. "Welcome to Earth's first spirit digital library," Lisa said, standing to greet them. The silver alien spoke first. "We have been studying your new system. It's remarkable. The combination of digital efficiency and spirit wisdom is unlike anything in the galaxy." Alexandria appeared, making the aliens' devices light up with readings. "Show them," she said to Lisa. "Show them what James helped us create." Lisa led the group through the library. In the digital sections, spirits made of light and code helped users find information faster than any computer search. In the physical sections, ancient spirits kept the books in perfect condition and helped people find exactly what they needed. After James joined with the spirits, Lisa explained, "They understood how to work with modern technology, and we understood how to respect the old ways. Now both sides help each other." The crystal alien touched a screen with a glowing tendril. Fascinating. The spirits actually improve our digital systems. They don't just store information, they understand it. That's what makes human libraries special, Robert said, joining them. He had become the head of Spirit Digital Integration. We never saw knowledge as just data. Books weren't just objects. They were friends, teachers, companions. In the center of the library, they stopped at a new statue. It showed James Walker sitting in his favorite reading chair, a book open in his lap. At night, Lisa sometimes saw his spirit there, still reading, still watching over his beloved library. "The Galactic Council has a proposal," the four-armed alien said. "We want Earth to become the galaxy's central library, a place where all species can store their most important knowledge, protected by both technology and spirits." Lisa smiled. "The spirits already told us you would ask. They've been preparing." She led them to a new wing of the library. Spirits of all kinds floated between shelves that held books and data crystals from 100 alien worlds. "Some of your people may even learn to see the spirits themselves," Lisa said, "if they learn to love knowledge the way we do. The spirits are willing to teach those who truly want to learn." The aliens watched in wonder as books and data pads floated past, carried by invisible hands. Their devices couldn't fully track the spirit movements, but they could see the effects. Linda Parker, now the head of Galactic Library History, joined them. "Every day we learn something new about how spirits and technology can work together." James would have loved to see this. As if in response, all the spirits in the library glowed brighter for a moment. Alexandria floated near Lisa, her light gentle and warm. "You've done well," Alexandria said. "This is what we always hoped for, a place where all forms of knowledge could live together, protected and loved." Lisa touched the frame holding her bookmark. "Knowledge needs guardians," she whispered, remembering the words that had started her journey. "And now it has more than ever before." Above them, spirit lights danced between books both ancient and new, while visitors from across the galaxy learned what humans had always known: that true wisdom comes not just from collecting knowledge, but from loving it.